Okay, now we get to something serious. Let's talk about this because people tag me on this fucking relentlessly, and I decided to address this because I do use VPN, and I told people to use VPN, but apparently there's a big hoopla where one of the VPNs, apparently ExpressVPN, got caught using crypto or something along those lines. Like, wow, that's fucking horrible. And since ExpressVPN, they also NordVPN, Express Private Internet Access, which is the one that I use, and CyberGhost and ZenMate, apparently it's got a crypto fucking thing, a crypto fucking mining thingy. Apparently it's got caught by that, right? Horrible fucking news, right? Horrible fucking news. So, a bunch of people tag me on this. A bunch of people tag me. It's like, oh, Appa, you do know that private internet access is like fucking, is like the software is mining crypto. It's mining cryptocurrency using your PC without your fucking knowledge. Like, whoa, that's fucking horrible. I double checked the information. Turns out this account over here privated themselves. This account over here privated themselves and got a bunch of retweets, lots of fucking retweets and fucking likes. It's fake news. It's fake news.
Literally? Like this literal?
It's fake news. It's fake news. It is fake news, guys. The account literally, the one who posted this literally privated because it's fake news. So it's not true. And I can prove to you that it's not true because ExpressVPN showed how it's not true. Today we've been asked questions about NSSM. Okay, I'm just going to read the claim, right? The original claim. Don't ever use ExpressVPN again. They were bought up by a malware manufacturing tech giant. That I can at least agree is a very, very sketchy thing. I can agree with you on that. In the same way, Opera in general is fucking sketchy. Opera in general is fucking sketchy, but I actually use Opera, right? A lot of browsers in general, a lot of corporations, software corporations are fucking sketchy, especially when they bought out, right? And I deleted what appeared to be including the symptoms of a crypto miner. The symptoms! Not that it's an actual crypto miner, just the symptoms of a crypto miner because it's been using resources. That's why people say
that's it, okay.
Yeah, because it uses resources. Well, I use PIA right now.
Everything uses resources, like, come on.
Yeah, I use PIA right now. I use a private internet access, right? And this is fake news. This is fake news, all right? Do you know how I know it's fake news? This particular NSSM.exe, the code is open source.
Oh, okay.
Which means anyone can literally open it and check the code and see if there's anything wrong with it.
That's dumb.
And that's what I did. That's what I and a bunch of other people did. Nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong. It's fucking fake news. Outrage fucking fake news. There's nothing. The code is open source.
Fake and a fraud.
Yeah, it's a fake and a fraud. Oh man, seriously. NSSM is a component that monitors running services and restarts them in case they stop running for any reason. All right. I hate to be the defender of big corporate. These VPN corporations, right? All right, they profit a lot from sponsorship YouTubers. As clearly, ExpressVPN, private internet access, Surfshark, Volvault, ExpressVPN. A lot of these VPNs profit on YouTubers, right? But let me just give it to you 100% straight, 100% honest, 100% truth, especially in case you haven't seen Tomska's video on VPN, right?
Yeah.
This is just the basic understanding of why would you need a VPN, right? I need a VPN. There are a couple of reasons why. One, Indonesia. Enough said. Seriously. But if you want me to elaborate even further, Indonesia is a very fucking censorious country. Censors everything.
Big
fucking censors everything. It censors Reddit. It censors a lot of porn. It censors and hentai every single time.
It censors Naruto on the TV, on the television.
Yes.
Come on. It's Naruto.
Yes. It censors a bunch of fucking shit. There are a bunch in a couple of like ABBs. We talk about ABBs and even some of the meme streams, like actual meme stream, not the split up actual meme streams, right? Indonesia censors a lot of stuff, and I've shown it, right? So I want to bypass that censorship. That's why I use a VPN. That's why I fucking use a VPN, and I absolutely need a VPN, right? Doesn't matter for what it is. It doesn't matter where it is. I just so happen to get a good deal with private internet access. Because at the time I got a 2-year. Out of all of these, ExpressVPN is pretty expensive, and so is Nord. But private internet access is, in my opinion, the one that has the best deal. Molvart is slightly more expensive because you have to pay like $60 for a year, $60 for a year. But ExpressVPN is like $70 for 2 years. So I'd say, in my opinion, that's fucking worth it. But hey, that's what I use. That's what I use a VPN to bypass government censorship, because government censors a lot of stuff here, and that's why I use it. And unlike a bunch of YouTubers, talk about censorship and everything like that, I actually try to bypass censorship, right? I'm trying to do it just to make sure that I can deliver some content on here, right? And I try to make sure that the fucking government restrictions are bullshit. Second, and this one might be useful to you. Oh, well, I don't live in Indonesia. So why would I use a VPN? ISP will straight up, the ISPs will be able to know what you're browsing on. And it doesn't matter. It's not really that important if you're just browsing legally websites that you can legally visit. Like if you just browse hentai or whatever, the ISP is not gonna mind. Like if it's just hentai or it's just Pornhub, the ISP is not gonna mind that. Okay, whatever, this guy's browsing porn. We know that you're browsing porn, but hey, we don't
let you do what you do.
We know you're browsing porn. We're gonna let you what you do. What they do mind about is when you torrent, when you pirate.
That's dumb.
When you pirate, that's when they're like immediately went into, whoa, just oh wow, you're torrenting something. The corporation, the media corporation usually notify the ISP, and then the ISP notifies you, and then tells you, stop downloading that shit, right? Or we're gonna cut off your internet. My girlfriend actually had a bunch of these warnings. I asked her to torrent a bunch of stuff, and she got warning from Spectrum. So I basically told her to get a VPN. That's how you can safely download a lot of these stuff. That's how you can sail the 7 seas without the needs of the ISP
knocking around your door.
ISP snitching on you, right? Snitching on you. So there you have it. That's why you would need to use an ISP for most people. And I pretty much admit it straight up. I pirate a lot of stuff, and I talk about that in a video. That's why I use a VPN. And I think if you're pirating, you should too. So that, especially if you're pirating movies and TV shows, so that the fucking ISPs don't haul on your ass. Even games, right? Even games. Some fucking corporations are gonna look at that if you've been pirating their stuff because they made some bullshit like maybe Square Enix. You want to pirate Final Fantasy VII Remake, the PC version, because it's fucking trash. You don't want to buy it. You want to give it a try, right? And then Square Enix like, oh, you've been pirating this stuff. Not okay. And then they just go to your ISP and then tell your ISP, and ISP goes to you and then
be snitch.
You, right? They ISP likes to snitch, right? They provide the internet.
Snitching.
That's great, but they're fucking horrible. But they snitch to big corporations. So if you don't want to get snitched by your ISP, that's your PIA. That you need PIA. No, you do not PIA necessarily, but VPN. That's why you need a VPN. But aside from that, you don't really need it. And the reason why is because our websites, we are much more secure compared to last time. We are now using HTTPS standard, which is much better than HTTP, much less vulnerable to be broken up by hackers. HTTPS is a great standard right now. A lot of websites have been using it. If you see a padlock on the website, that means that the website has used HTTPS. That is a great standard that can actually be, that is actually much more secure than the last one. Still, those are the two use cases where you would need a VPN. And if a bunch of YouTubers are promoting it, I'm not saying that they're not necessarily scams at all. They do work. It's just that for most people, you don't really need it, especially if you're just browsing the safe stuff. If you're just browsing something that's safe, you don't really need it, right? So anyway, yeah, that's big PSA. If you want to use a VPN, for the use cases of VPN, one, if your country loves to censor a lot of stuff, get a VPN. There are free VPNs, granted, but they suck. And they are the ones that can steal your data. If you actually pay, they're not going to steal your data. They're not going to, they have zero log policy. And if they do not have zero log policy, right? If the police went into the corporation, right? They know that it's from a VPN corporation, right? There are legals and clause on this. If they went into that and they snitch a bad guy, the company's going to get into a bunch of fucking lawsuits. And it's going to destroy the credibility. The company would not advertise themselves, the VPNs would not advertise themselves having zero logs if it's not real. Because if they do have logs on it, they're gonna be fucking sued straight up. Lawsuits up the fucking ass. Anyway.
Class action, that is.
Yeah. Now, there are ISPs that straight up do not care. about if you're just pirating stuff, like IndieHome. They do not give a shit. I've
don't
been
really do.
pirating a bunch of stuff. They do not care. Apparently, and IndieHome is like a government backed. And it's a government backed ISP, and they do not care, right? So that's why I still put ISP regardless, because I still put a VPN regardless, because Indonesian government loves to censor a bunch of stuff, and I actually do something to circumvent that censorship, unlike a lot of other people. But anyway, there's that. So just a PSA: this is fake news, y'all. And again, I'm not saying you should 100% believe these corporations. Not at all. Definitely being critical when it's necessary, but but these are not it. This is not the time for you to be critical. I mean, I can be critical of private internet access. Their servers are not very great. Sometimes they just there are websites that I cannot access that use a VPN. I have to turn a VPN off in order to access certain websites. But aside from that, 99.9%, I'm happy with my private internet access purchase. And I'm not saying you should use private internet access, but there are a bunch of other VPNs out there that you can use.
It's one of the good ones.
And far better. So there you go. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I use it. Circumvent censorship, and I love to pirate. Those are the main two why I use VPN. And that's a big of a PSA for you all. Being honest and transparent for everybody. So, speaking of piracy, right? Did you know that Linus, I don't know if you've seen Linus's, what do you call it? WAN show?
Okay.
He got a bunch of
I don't watch through them a lot, but
okay. We'll get to that later after the chat. Fuckus Cuckus tip $1. Speaking of VPNs, 4chan has been permabanning lots of users for the pettiest and stupidest reasons, including a friend of mine. And I want to know if you can reset your IP because 4chan blocks VPNs. Oh, that's now that you mention it.
That's actually true.
Now that you mention it, there's another good use for VPN. So do you know how you download something on the internet and they put you on this site that will basically block any download for like a certain number of minutes?
Okay.
So let's say I was downloading a bunch of PS4 PKGs, right? On this one website.
Okay.
I forgot what website it's called. But when I download that PKG, download is, progressing, but I want to download it on Internet Download Manager, not on the browser, because I want to limit the speed. But the browser, for some reason, does not let you to limit the speed, right? So it's downloading at 2 megs per second.
Okay.
But the problem is, the first time it was downloading to the browser, and I canceled that. And then I tried to downloading it again. But it says you have to wait for 1 hour before you can download a new fucking.
Okay, that just sounds dumb.
You have to wait for 1 hour if you want to download this again. Fuck off. If you do that as a fucking download service, you're
That's
fucking
dumb.
trash. Fucking hate that shit. Hate that. Thankfully, you can circumvent that by just resetting your VPN. Because if you reset your VPN, you get a new IP. Once you get a new IP, you can download the file again.
You're done. Yeah, you're just done.
Done. That is also a really good case for a VPN. If you're downloading stuff from these fucking dumbass fucking websites and they tell you, oh, if you want to download this, you have to wait for like an hour. Just reset your VPN, done. You get a new IP, you can download the stuff again. Let's go. Oh my God. Man, seriously, my life is just so much better with a VPN, especially if you live in Indonesia. But hey, that's just me.